What's going on, guys? Well, a common theme in many messages I receive is people wishing they had better quality equipment to make better videos. Well, I'm here to say that the most important ingredient is not a setup like this or a camera rig like this. It's your own imagination. In fact, I would argue you can make a really great video using only this. So that's what I set out to do, make an aesthetically interesting video completely on the iPhone, from shooting all the way through to post-production. If you haven't already seen it, here's a link you can click on the screen or below, and I recommend checking it out before you watch this video. In the interest of full disclosure, I will admit I had a little bit of help on the hardware side. I used the Glyph tripod mount for the iPhone, which I absolutely recommend, a great product. I also used a basic cage system when I was out there, and that was mainly so the iPhone didn't slip out of my hand and give me a little bit more secure grip. I'm not really going to focus on the shooting part here just because filmmakers with much more talent than me have already shown you can shoot amazing videos on the iPhone. I'm really going to focus on post-production. One thing about shooting that I will mention though is the app I used, Filmmaking Pro. I've talked about this in several videos. It basically allows you to use customizable settings on your iPhone video, and I definitely recommend it if you're someone who shoots a lot of video on your iOS device. I used iMovie for my editing, although you could probably use other video apps out there. I really think for my money though, iMovie is still the best iOS editor. I think what's more important is the other apps that I use, starting with what I use to color grade. I use Movie Looks from Red Giant. Red Giant is of course synonymous with color grading software for Final Cut and After Effects and Premiere, and they actually have a really great iOS app. I'll just show you how it works here. Here's my raw footage from the camera, which is okay, but not really visually interesting at all. Once you load your video, you'll get a lot of presets to choose from, and these will all look very familiar to anyone who's used the Magic Bullet Looks software. What I really love about this app is it's not just click and done on the preset. You actually get two sliders, a strength and a brightness, so you can really tweak the look to get it exactly how you want it. For my video, I actually reloaded a graded clip and then added another template to it to give it an even more customized look. Of course, every time you do this, you're going to degrade the quality as it's doing some compression on the import and export. So I wouldn't do it more than twice. Next up, we have the app I used for the morphing effect at the end. I used Demon Cam by Video Copilot, another name synonymous with post-production plugins for your Mac or PC. And it actually creates a fairly sophisticated effect considering it's all coming from an iPhone. You simply line up the tracking and then you get a set of demons to apply to your subject and then export it. Now it's time to bring it all back to iMovie for the final cut. And this is where that creativity and outside the box thinking is really going to come in handy, so you can really make iOS iMovie do things you can normally only do on a desktop. First off, I needed a null area, so I decided to insert a black JPEG between the crossfades, and that worked really well. Also, on my title card, I wanted it to zoom in and out, so I made the titles in Keynote and then applied a Ken Burns effect to them to get that movement. Sound is going to require some more tricks as well. You can see you can only have two tracks when one is one of the built-in sound effects, and while the built-in library is extensive, it's not going to have everything you want. So the first thing you need to do to have multiple sound effects in your video is turn off the loop background music. This is what is going to allow you to actually trim the music tracks in and out. But unfortunately, you can still only have one playing at a time. Well, that's it for my iPhone filmmaking tips and tricks, as well as the behind the scenes to the personal project I made. I think the bottom line here is that I, along with a lot of other people, were wrong in saying that iOS devices are really more for content consumption and not content creation. Because as you can see, with just a little outside the box thinking, you can really make some amazing content. That's all for this video, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.